I was wondering if you knew how to factor. Yes, I'll teach you how to factor. What is it, a binomial or a trinomial? It's a trinomial because it has three terms. Also, for example, we can solve this problem together. First, you're going to fill in the x, then figure out what signs you're going to use. Then you factor a and c and write down the factors. Oh, okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this factoring thing. Okay, so then you get this answer, right? Yes, that's great. Oh, okay, now I'll show you this one by myself. Sure, that sounds great. Well, first I make the x and then plug in the numbers. You're doing great. What do you think is next? Then you divide 3 to both sides. Excellent. Now what do you get for your answer? Now this is your answer. I think you did an awesome job solving this problem by yourself. You're a factoring genius.
I need help graphing quadratic equations.
Dude, I can totally help you out.
I need help finding the line of symmetry on this problem.
All you need is the steps to graph quadratic equations.
Is the first step to make sure it's in standard form?
Correct. Then you put in x equals negative b over 2a.
Step 2 is?
Plug in the line of symmetry back into the original equation.
I guess step 4 is to find two other points?
Yes.
So now I got the vertex?
Yes, then plot the other 2 points and reflect the cross.
What is my graph going to look like?
It will be a U-shaped graph.
Thank you for helping me.
Anytime.
Dude, I'm going to fail the quiz on Friday. It's on exponents.
Don't worry about it. I'm good with exponents, and I'll tutor you before the quiz. Let's go study.
Cool, can you give me a problem to try then?
Yeah, here's a problem that might be on the quiz.
The first thing I'm having trouble on is the multiplication property of exponents.
That property is pretty challenging, but just remember that when the base is being multiplied, you add the exponents. To the left is a skeleton of how your work should look.
What about the zero product property? My friends say that it's easy, but I don't get it at all.
In the zero product property, if the exponent is 0, the answer is 1. No work needed.
I think I can remember that. It's pretty easy.
Here, try this problem.
I think I'll try to do one.
Yeah, try to do this one.
What about negative exponents? They're pretty confusing.
No, it's not. All you have to do is remember to turn the base to its reciprocal and the exponents become positive.
Alright, let me try this last one problem.
Yeah, go ahead and try it.
Thanks, dude. I can't wait to take the quiz and see what I get.
Alright, man, good luck.
Alright, let's do the final property, the quotient of powers properties.
That one is like the multiplication property, but instead of the numbers being multiplied, they are being divided. Also, instead of adding, you are subtracting.
Of course, cutie. Sure I can, baby. An example of this problem is 3 to the power of 0.
Oh, I get it. When an exponent equals 0, it always equals to 1. What is the first rule in simplifying negative exponents?
The first rule in simplifying the exponents is that if it's negative in the numerator, it goes to the denominator. If it's negative in the denominator, it goes to the numerator. The only thing that changes is that the number becomes a positive.
Oh, okay, so 5 to the negative second power is 1 over 5 to the second power.
Yeah, you're getting it. Good job, sugar.
How do you solve negative exponents?
It's really simple once you get the steps down.
What would be an example of negative exponents?
An example of negative exponents is 5 to the negative second power.
Oh, so 5 to the negative second power is 1 over 5 to the second power.
Yeah, you got it. Good job, sugar.
Thanks, Lucy. Now I can pass my math test in Miss Rager's Algebra 1 class.
No problem, sugar baby. Bye. Call me.
Hey, Judge, can you help me with this problem?
Sure, what kind of problem is it?
It's multiplying polynomials with 4 or more terms.
Oh, that's easy. Your first step is to copy down the problem on your piece of paper.
Right.
Next, you use distributive property.
Oh, I see.
After that step, you combine the like terms from your previous step ending in your solution.
Oh, so you combine -4 and -a. Thank you, Judge. Now I can explain to my class how to solve polynomials. Today we're going to learn about polynomials. And that is how you solve polynomials.
Mrs. Reptar, explain how to solve and graph this quadratic equation.
Well, Tommy, first you put the equation in standard form. Standard form is when you put it in order from the biggest exponent to the smallest exponent.
Then how do I find the line of symmetry?
My head's going to explode, Tommy. You find the line of symmetry by using -b over 2a.
Thank you. Now how do I find the vertex?
You irritate me, Tommy. You use the answer of -b over 2a, which is -1. Then you find two other points next to the line of symmetry.
After I plot the points of the vertex, what do I do?
You have to find two other points next to the line of symmetry, and then reflect them across the line. Then connect the 5 points with a smooth curve.
After I have found the 2 points for the parabola, what do I do?
You have to determine if the parabola is positive or negative. If it's positive, it opens up, and if it's negative, it opens down.
May you help me graph the parabola?
Of course, Tommy. Anything for you.
Thank you for teaching me how to graph it.
Anytime, Tommy. That's how you solve the equation. Congratulations!
I am just a messenger. You cannot treat me like this. You threaten my city. Not just any city, but the city where factors are made. Also, you threaten my wife. This is Factoria! We must make a plan to fill in the X. We must fight, soldiers. Once we fill in the X, we'll be able to see the signs. Attack! Warriors, we must fill in the X. Remember the plan. The signs are going to be after this wave of Persians. We have made it through the first wave of Persians, my brothers. We have also found the A soldier and the C soldier, and divided each soldier by group A. We must write the factors now, my brothers. You are the only men I trust to carry on this job. We are on step 5 of the plan. Almost there, my brothers. We must fight. Ow! 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 Yeah. It will not be even if I get in the group, my brothers, so I must go in front of the pack. Well, I am the leader. The problem is solved, but we are Factorians, and we will fight to the end. So to double check, we must kill them all, because Factorians never retreat. They all died by hundreds upon hundreds of arrows that the Persians shot into the air. The Persians, in respect, go back home and don't take over Factoria.
How was school today?
It was good.
What did you learn?
Easy stuff about how to solve quadratic equations.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my god, the police is behind us.
Oh no. Hello, ma'am. Do you know why I stopped you? Do you realize you were going at a speed of 45 when there was a sign to go at 25? Now, I feel bad giving you a ticket, but I'll tell you what. If you answer a question correctly, I will let you guys go on your way. What do you say to that? I'm so sorry. I promise it won't happen again.
It's because we were so distracted.
Well, what was the important that you were so distracted about?
Well, we were talking about solving quadratic equations and how it's really easy to me.
Oh, really? Well, since it's so easy, your question has a lot to do with solving quadratic equations. How do you solve this problem? And please explain, and I will let you guys go.
Seven x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. That's an easy one. Well, the first steps of solving a quadratic equation is to write it in standard form. In this case, it already is.
Good job, son. That's a very good start. Keep going.
So, the steps are identify A, B, and C, find negative B, find 2A, find the square root of B squared minus 4AC, substitute the steps 3, 4, and 5 into formula, and simplify if needed, just like in the problem.
That is very good. You know the steps very well. Now, can you solve this question?
Well, first we find A, B, and C, which A equals 7, B is 2, and C is negative 1.
Then we find negative b, and it's 2, so it equals negative 2. Now we find 2a equals 2 times 7, which is 14. Next we find the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which will be 2 squared minus 4 times 7 times negative 1, equals the square root of 4 plus 28. You add that and get the square root of 32. The answer will be negative 1 plus or minus 2 squared over 7. Wow, that was amazing. You answered the question very well. You can go now. Bye. But be careful and watch all the speed limits. Yay, we made it home without a ticket. I'm proud of you. Do I deserve an ice cream?
How do you simplify an exponent?
An exponent refers to the number of times the number is multiplied by itself. The first thing you do to simplify is to use PNR MDS, which stands for People Never Regret My Delicious Soup. The first step to PNR MDS is parentheses. The second step to PNR MDS is negative exponents. The third step to PNR MDS is rewrite. The fourth step to PNR MDS is to multiply.
Thank you. Now I understand how to simplify exponents.
You're welcome. Just remember to use PNR MDS.
Can someone help me learn how to graph quadratic equations?
I know how to graph quadratic equations. I can help you. Okay, here's an example. Okay, the first step is to see if it is in standard form.
Yes, the equation is in standard form.
We ran out of pickle.
Second step is to see if the value A is positive or negative. If the value is negative, it opens down. And if the value is positive, then it opens up.
Okay, since the 3x is positive, it opens up.
Now, third step is to find the line of symmetry. Here's the equation to find the line of symmetry.
Yes.
Now you have to plug in the b and a value to the equation and then solve.
Okay, the answer is 1.
Yeah, what do you want?
The fourth step, find vertex by plugging the line of symmetry into the equation.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so you get 1 comma negative 1.
Good. Now the last step is to get 2 other points and reflect them across the line of symmetry.
2 other points are 2 and 3.
Remember that problem in school you had?
Okay, now put 2 in the equation in place of the x and tell me the answer.
The answer is 2 comma 2.
Yes, exactly.
Good. Now plug in the 3 and tell me the answer.
Okay, the answer is 3 comma 11.
Okay, now that you have those points, plug them into the graph and reflect them across the line of symmetry.
Okay.
Here is the graph where you put the points and you get a U shape.
How cool. Thank you for helping me. Learn how to graph quadratic equations.
Yes, well now you know how to graph quadratic equations. You're welcome, little girl.
Hey there, stranger. Hiya. What do you want to learn?
What do you mean?
Do you want to learn how to factor?
Sure. What is the first step to factoring?
First, you need to figure out if it's a binomial or a trinomial.
After the x, what do you do?
Next, you find the factors for AC. It's a trinomial, so you fill in the x.
And then?
Finally, you write the answer.
Now I know how to factor. Thanks.
Oh no, I'm stuck in the woods. What do I do?
Solve the problem on the tree. The first thing you do is underline like terms.
The sun is setting and I'm scared of the wolf.
As long as we follow the problems on the trees, you will be fine.
The sun is set. I have to get home to Grandma.
Don't worry, little red. You just group terms and add coefficients of like terms.
A new problem. How do we solve this one?
You just have to change the subtraction to addition. Are you starting to understand how to solve the problems now?
Yeah, you just distribute the negative sign. Okay, now I get it.
Now you line up terms and add.
I think I see the way out.
That was our last problem.
You don't tell him.
I finally got out of the woods safely from the wolf. Thanks, guys.
We were glad to help. Red, is that you?
Oh, we're
Hey man, hey, you, boss, Mr. Master thing.
Yeah, what you want, Flapper?
You remember that problem at school you were having trouble with?
Oh yeah, we have a test on quadratic equations today. What am I going to do?
Well, I can help.
How? You're just a dog.
You underestimate me, my friend. What was the problem?
It was 2x squared minus 3x equals 8.
That problem? Man, that's so easy I could do with my eyes closed.
Prove it.
Okay, now let's see. First you must make all this equal 0, so you switch A to the other side. Also, you must change the symbol, so if it's a positive, it's now a negative, and vice versa. Then after that, you must find A, B, and C. In this problem, 2 equals A, 3 equals B, and 8 equals C. Then you plug in A, B, and C into the formula negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. What a mouthful. After that, you must find what B squared and 4AC equal separately. So in this case, the answer to B squared is 9, and the answer to 4AC is 64. Simple. So once those two are found, you add them together under the radical. If the answer has a square root, find it. If the answer does not have a square root, find the GCF for all three numbers.
So x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 73 over 4. That's my answer?
Yep, smiley face. So, how did you do?
I aced it. Great, I want to ace this test.
By the way, why do you always call me Flapper?
Because your gums never stop flapping. You want to go get a pie to celebrate?
You bet. Maybe we can find the radius while we're at it.
I wish I knew how to solve quadratic equations.
Want to learn some math, kitty patootie?
Sure. What are they up to?
Well, I got the solution for you. Let's do quadratic equations using the quadratic formula.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
We have to find A, B, and C.
Oh, that's the first step. Okay, what's the second?
So this is an equation. It's already in standard form.
How are we supposed to find the negative value of a number?
It's simple. All we have to do is multiply the number by -1.
That's so amazing! Wow!
Yes, now you find the square root of B squared minus 4AC.
When you plug everything in, you can find the final answer.
Now you're getting it.
I totally understand now.
And there you go, that's your answer.